Welcome to Critical Minerals Uncovered, where we dig deep into the materials shaping our future and the power plays that are shaping who controls them. I'm your host, Amanda van Dyke. Today's episode, The New Great Game, How China's Grip on Critical Minerals is Redrawing the World Order. Let me take you back for a moment. In the 19th century, the Great Game was a shadow war between Britain and Russia. It was a geopolitical chess match. Spies, maps, and trade routes stretching across Central Asia. Britain was defending its empire, and Russia was pushing south. The stakes were high. Fast forward to today. A new great game is unfolding, but this time, the battleground isn't borders, it's supply chains. And the stakes aren't colonies, they're control over raw materials that power our world. And the most dominant player? China. From steel and silicon, to cobalt and gallium, and everything in our modern lives, electric vehicles, smartphones, semiconductors, defense systems, they all depend on mined minerals. And the power to mine them, refine them, and process those materials, that's not just industrial capacity, that's strategic control, that's leverage, and China knows it. China's rise is no accident. It's not the invisible hand of the market. It's a very visible hand, one that's been shaping the global supply chains of minerals for 40 years. Think of it as mercantilism 2.0. Centuries ago, European empires built wealth by extracting raw materials from their colonies and flooding the world with their goods. China's Belt and Road Initiative is the same play, just with ports, highways, railways, and fiber optics, instead of galleons and gunboats. Over $1 trillion has been invested by China in over 150 countries, all designed to extract raw materials in and export high-value goods out. If a country can't pay for that infrastructure, China takes the mine, or the port, or the refinery. It's not just about the raw materials. It's also about controlling the trade routes and determining who gets access to them. So how did China pull this off? Step one was a strategic designation. As early as the 1980s, China classified rare earths and other key minerals as national priorities. It subsidized the extraction, poured money into refining, and nurtured industrial champions. Step two, exploiting the Western retreat. While Western mines closed under the weight of environmental regulations and low prices, China ramped up. When the U.S. rare earth mine in Mountain Pass shut down in 2002, China grabbed a 97% global share. Step three, the going out strategy. Chinese companies acquired cobalt in the DRC, nickel in Indonesia, lithium in Australia and Argentina, copper in Peru and Chile. They didn't just buy resources, they bought the entire supply chain, end to end. Step four, weaponizing trade. In 2010, China cut rare earths exports to Japan over a small territorial dispute. Prices spiked 700%. Since then, they've restricted gallium, germanium, and 7 more rare earths. These aren't just trade moves. They're signals. If you want the minerals, you come to China. Let's break it down. You can't build EVs without lithium, cobalt, and graphite. You can't make semiconductors without silicon and gallium. You can't produce defense systems without titanium, tungsten, and rare earths. And you cannot reach net zero without copper, aluminum, and nickel. This is why control over minerals is power. Strategic, industrial, economic, and military power. China refines over 90% of the world's graphite, rare earths, and cobalt. Over 60% of its lithium and copper. It dominates not just mining, but the value-add steps. Cathodes, wafers, magnets, and batteries. That's where the money is, and that's where the leverage is. The United States imports 100% of nearly a quarter of its critical minerals, and more than 50% of 29 others. In many cases, the top supplier is China. And this isn't just a trade imbalance, it's a national security risk. If an F-35 fighter uses nearly 1,000 pounds of rare earths, gallium powers night vision and radar, if supplies are cut, defense production halts. The U.S. Geological Survey has warned that a 30% drop in gallium could cost the U.S. $600 billion in GDP. The West is responding, but slowly. Legislation has been passed, billions have been pledged, tariffs have been imposed. The U.S. is leading the way, with efforts to secure supply deals in Canada, the Congo, Greenland, and even Ukraine. But most Western responses are fragmented, underfunded, and overregulated. there's still a belief that markets, not policy, should solve the problem. And ESG roadblocks, however well-intended, have often slowed new projects down to a crawling pace. Meanwhile, China moves with purpose and quickly. Saudi Arabia, interestingly, is an emerging player as a neutral third party, investing in mining, building refining hubs, and aligning with both Western and Eastern partners. It may yet become a key swing state in the global game. The bottom line, minerals aren't optional. They're foundational. The fight for critical minerals is a fight for control of the fourth industrial revolution. For energy, for technology, for defense, for sovereignty. China didn't win this game with tanks. It won it with strategy. Mines, ports, policy, and processing plants. If the West wants to catch up, it must start treating minerals as a strategic resource, assets, not just commodities. And it must move now. Because the great game is on, and the stakes aren't just trade. It's the future of the global order. Thank you for listening to Critical Minerals Uncovered. I'm Amanda van Dyke. If you found this episode helpful, insightful, or even just provocative, please subscribe, share, and send it to someone who still thinks mineral supply chains is just about mining. Until next time, stay grounded, stay strategic, and never underestimate the power of what lies beneath our feet.